snap. Y'all wasn't expecting that. Good afternoon and welcome to the Wake and Bake Show, the 4 o'clock edition. I'm your host, Miss Green Jeans. Hey, don't get it twisted, cause it ain't gonna be like this all the time. Y'all know it was the final playoffs before the Super Bowl, right? And y'all know that game went on for a minute. We gonna talk about that and then some more. Hey, we gonna go ahead and do what we gotta do best. Hey, you heard the title of the show today. If you didn't, you just clicked in. Are we living the dream as Dr. King seen it? We're going to talk about that and more. We'll be right back. Welcome to the Wake and Bake Show.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as the great Beacon light of hope to millions. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, together, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll rise up. I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
As we reflect on the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, who would have been 90 years old this past birthday, where do I start? I'll start in our great state of South Carolina. I know some of this be like, why are we talking about Dr. King? Because even in the cannabis field, all throughout it, we have to deal with Dr. King's dream. And I'm going to read you what our dear Senator Tim Scott said. Today we stand on the shoulders of great men like Dr. King. Our pursuit of a more civil and fair America. An America where one race, one gender, or zip code does not dictate their opportunity. This is #MLK Day. May we honor the work that he started and the message he proclaimed. Now y'all know it was a reason for me to do this. You know me. And as soon as I can locate my response, I did respond to Senator Tim Scott, and I want to make sure I read it correctly. Just one moment. Y'all know I'm not fast with this. Okay, my reply to Senator Tim Scott. That if it was only true, we are still lacking in the state. We're denied medical care in the form of cannabis, which we all know it works. So what do you say about zip code again? So if we're not able to treat ourselves in the zip code that we currently live in, like for instance, California has medical cannabis as well as recreational. Denver, Colorado has medical cannabis for recreational and medical cannabis. Here in Rock Hill, South Carolina, we have neither above. We have CBD, and you got to be careful on how you take your CBD, because if it's in a flower form, you better have that paperwork ready, because you might get thrown down to the ground for it. So I don't know what Tim Scott is saying where we're all equal at. And God help me, y'all know the numbers. I ain't got to even preach them. I preach them enough. But, I still like to know where we all equal. We're not equal in our states. Each state has different rules. I understand that. But when you have 33 states in the District of Columbia that currently has some form of medical cannabis bill or recreational cannabis, and we're supposed to be equal, I don't call that being equal. That's not united. We're supposed to live in the United States of America. I'm just saying. So also, the Index Journal has an article. It's called the indexjournal.com. It has about the medical cannabis bill that we have here and that's going into South Carolina. And I know y'all saying today, I've been full of comments today because the current bill, House Bill, S Bill 366. This was my response to this article there. You can read it for yourself in the entirety. I shared it up on my Facebook page, and I do believe I shared it on Ms. Green Jean's page as well on Facebook. If you say so, but if it passes to be worse than Florida, when you limit to how many dispensaries you have, you already have people in mind already. Numbers don't lie. Florida tried it and it failed. The only thing I see this bill is going to help is lawyers for the lawsuits which to follow. Now, about this bill S366 they want only so many dispensaries and so many grows. You can't do that. They tried it in Florida. It does not work. It's an epic fail. So if they say they claim they care about, the cannabis patient. I don't see where's the cares at. So this is what I'm going to do for y'all. Because I love y'all so much, and this is MLK Day. Okay, I shared up on my page the two writers of that bill, Senator Tom Davis and Representative Pete McCall. Okay, their phone numbers and everything is listed, but I'll be happy to give it to those right now. The business phone is for Senator Tom Davis is area code 803-212-6016. Once again, business number is area code 803-212-6016. Now he has a second number as well. Second business phone number 843-252-8583. Once again, that phone number is area code 843-252-8583. You want the address where you can email him? Okay, the Columbia address, 604 Gresselsburg Boulevard, Columbia, 29201. Home address, P.O. Box Drawer 1107, Beaufort, 29901/1107. Now that's if you want to go ahead and email him or write him. I prefer that you write him and tell him how you feel about the bill. If you like the bill, fine. If you don't like the bill, fine. But handwrite these letters. That way they're not put in file 13. Okay, that's in District 46. District 115, which is in Charleston County, and the first one, Mr. Senator Davis, was Beaufort and Jasper counties. Now, Mr. Representative Peter McCoy, he is in District 115, which is Charleston County. His address, Columbia address, 512 Black Boulevard, building, Columbia, 29201. Business number, area code 803-734-3120. Once again, let me repeat that business phone number, area code 803-734-3120. And home address is 135 King Street, Charleston, 29401. Please address your letters to those two individuals and tell them how you feel about the current bills that they have out there, because the only way they're going to know is if you can't get there. If you think the bill's fine, that's cool. Let them know. If you don't think the bill is fine, let them know as well, so they can possibly tweak it. Believe me, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write both of them and tell them how I am very concerned about both of these bills, and if they are passed, which they probably choke them down our throats. They'll probably shove them down our throats, and that's what I mean, literally. Because how you going to limit people on how many people can grow and how many people can dispense? They tried it in Florida. It did not work. That's why I say they picked the worst of the worst to these bills, but we're not going to get on that show today. We're supposed to be talking about Dr. King's dream. But since we off the subject, and I just had to make this suggestion, a good friend of mine on Facebook posted this yesterday. I'm not going to call her out or anything because she's a business owner. But she posted out, I'm calling on every TSA worker to walk off the job, and America will completely shut down and force the government to open. Now you think about it for a second. We're in day 31. Day 31. And we still ain't got no further. Would this be part of Dr. King's dream? I don't know any president. As we know, it has not been one living president has shut down the government so long for such selfish means. And it's going to hurt all of us. Even though we're in the cannabis community, it's going to hurt us too. Believe it or not. So get ready, because it's coming. We might not be feeling it now, but we will. So y'all, we must get ready to take that long walk, because we're going to need to exhale, okay?
Maybe we could take a long walk. Maybe we could take a long walk. Maybe we could take a long walk. Maybe you're here, I'm pleased. I really dig your company. Your style, your smile, your
peace mentality. Lord, have mercy on me. I was blind, now I can see what a king's supposed to be. Baby, I feel free. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark. Find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. Share our situation, temptation, education, relaxation, elevation. Maybe we can talk about so right. 3118. Your background ain't squeaky clean. Sometimes y'all gotta swim upstream. You ain't no saint, all a sinner, but you put your good foot down to make your soul winner. I respect that, man, you're so fat, and you're all that, plus supreme, then you're humble, baby. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark. Find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. Share our situation, temptation, education, relaxation, elevation. Maybe we can talk about Revelation 3:17. Or maybe we can see a movie, or maybe we can see a play on Saturday. Or maybe we could roll a tree for the breeze and listen to a symphony. Or maybe we could challenge us, be a maybe. Maybe we could take a cruise and listen to the blues. Maybe get some bad food, maybe cry to the blues. Baby, 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 let's take a long walk around the park after dark. Find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. Share our situation, temptation, education, relaxation, elevation. Maybe we could talk about 3118. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark. Find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. Share our situation, temptation, education, relaxation, elevation. Maybe we can talk about Revelation 3:17. Yep. Or maybe chillin' just be, or maybe we could take a cruise and listen to the roots. Maybe get some past food, maybe cry to the blues, or just be. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark. Find a spot for us to spark conversation, verbal elation, stimulation. Share our situation, temptation, education, relaxation, elevation. Maybe we can talk about soul ride 3118.
Hey, it's 4:19. Where your lighter at? Y'all know what time it is. It's about to hit that 4:20 mark. So y'all know what we gonna do since we don't be on the show that often at 4:20. We gonna go ahead and kick it off a little something like this.
Oh, hey, listen, try this. I told my weed guy to step it up and he gave me that.
What is it?
It's called Mind Rape. It's actually pretty mellow.
It doesn't sound very mellow.
Well, he only had 3 other batches. Gorilla Panic, They're Coming, and something called This Is Permanent. Go on, spark it up. There you go. You got it. Nice. Good, huh? Good job.
Yeah.
Take pride in that.
So I wake up Monday morning and I check my stash. Just some shake, wake and bake on some Moroccan hash. Coffee break, some organic fair trade beans popping. Now I'm awake and it's time to go shopping. Roll to the dispensary, patient of the century. Need a nice sativa that will stimulate me mentally. Buds with sticky density of moderate intensity. Pipe like Sherlock Holmes cause this weed is elementary. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Welcome friends purple-haired girl at the front desk knows my name cause she sees me on the regular. Waves me in, says, please turn off your cellular. Walls and walls of green buds, jugs full of flour. Indicas for indica, sativas for the power. Bow to the bud tender cause he's paid by the hour. As your concierge, your cannabis with OG sour. Thinks I'll be a fan of this organic stream with amethyst. Bud so damn gigantic you can help but call it Maximus. A marijuana analyst, he gives his full analysis of CBD to THC. Somebody give this man a kiss. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain, man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain, man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Next to me in line is a guy named Wesley. Smoke weed every day since back in the 70s. Now he's buying edibles, his wife's on chemotherapy. Her recipe of choice kicks the nausea temporarily. Here in the dispensary, there's something green for every crowd. Fat pre-rolls that will make Bob Marley proud. Shadow wax, resin extract for the vape crowd. 2 puffs of that and you'll be walking on a vape cloud. Wait now, don't walk away till you pay now. It's gotta be cash till the banks break the shakedown. Make out with the fat eighth and some papes. How dope, man, let the smoke hit you on the way out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain, man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Welcome friends to the dispensary. Fat discounts when you mention me. Any strain, man, what you wanna try out? You might walk in, but you gonna fly out. Blue, green, sour, diesel, Girl Scout, cookies, green crack, white widow, and the bubba, kosher cushies, Northern Lights in next. Got that pineapple express, lemon haze, driven poison, Amy Schumer's train wreck. Skywalker OG, purple haze, grape ape, AK-47, got me loading up my vape. Cali Miss, blueberry, triple diesel, golden goat. The dispensary is open and I'm never going home.
Mr. JT.
Let the taste, they hit the ground. Let me get a light on.
Squinting like a mother Asian persuasion. Truth be told, just a high Caucasian. Strange junkie, yeah, I'm the first to admit it. If you crossing up genetics and you know I wanna get it, spark up cuz we squinting cross the nation. Probably never hear this on your radio station. CD, iTunes, SoundCloud, this. Bump it real loud, get your neighbors real pissed. Come over knocking with an attitude that's funky when they lead is squinting and smelling a little funky. But that's okay, it's just how we do. Squinting with your old homeboy J. Roo. Call me the candle man cause I'm sugar wax stabbing. Love me the shatter, gonna grab a full slab and get this party started the best way I know how. And every single one of us be squinting for a while. We're squinting, yeah, that's how we do it. When you blazing with your old boy J. Roo says squinting each and every single day. Pass a blunt around like this record do play. We're squinting every time we roll through. When you blazing with your old boy J. Roo said squinting early morning to the night. Just make sure my bong ain't packed too tight. Squinting, you can call me Mr. Miyagi. Bud so green, call it Kermit the Froggy. Getting my mind foggy off the garden of weed. Eyes wide shut is a life I'm leading. Now we proceeding to squint and get lifted. What strength you got to make reality shifted? If you've been around for a minute or two, know if it that good to make the J review. It's a guest choice till the end of the song. Do you wanna spark a joint, a blunt, bowl, a bomb? Lungs get ready with your squint game, baby. Think you can hang with the squint squad, maybe? Grab a dab who could be the party starter. Also grab a bong and please change the water. Rooms elevated, all y'all minds are lifted. Squinting to the words of the most gifted. Squinting, yeah, that's how we do it. When you blazing with your old boy J. Roo says squinting each and every single day. Pass a blunt around like this record do play. Says squinting every time we roll through. When you blazing with your old boy J. Roo says squinting early morning to the night. Just make sure my bong ain't packed too tight. Squinting like it was my 9 to 5. So much honey in my jaw, you thought I robbed a hive. Eyes wide shut if you know what I'm saying. Living the squint life, y'all know I ain't playing. Dabs on deck, ounce of flour in the glove box. Head out to the whip, me by the hot box of moon rocks. Back up in a party and I got one wish. Hoping that I get to try that squish. Sipping round the table, THC infused drinks. Squint with your homie talking about what he thinks. Brought the distillate with them added in turks. DTFO knocking out them twerks. Please make sure your boy don't fall. Who's a DK dab king out, y'all? You want a good time? Let's do some bone races. Then we're gonna have a whole room of squinting faces. Squinting, yeah, that's how we do it. When you blazing with your old boy J. Roo says squinting each and every single day. Pass a blunt around like this record do play. We're squinting every time we roll through. When you blazing with your old boy J. Roo says squinting early morning to the night. Just make sure my bong ain't packed too tight. We're squinting every time I roll through. Yeah, I know you're squinting, baby. We're squinting, you're squinting. From New York to San Quentin. Get at me.
When you're under the influence of marijuana and you choose to get behind the wheel, you know it's wrong. So if you don't listen to your instincts, think about your fellow passengers. Or think about the other people on the road. Even the unexpected ones. And if you don't think about them, you'll answer to us. Drive baked, get busted.
And we're back. Did y'all enjoy that 420 break? I hope you did. I don't get to do it too often. I always want to do one. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Hey, me and my chill stick was chilled back. If you don't know about chill sticks, you better check them out. It's on Catalina. Check that out on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter. Anyway, back to what we was talking about. Hey, one of my friends, Jocelyn James, is on Facebook, and she's asking for some help. Attention, I'm looking for supporters, naysayers, skeptics, and those who are negatively affected by the current marijuana law, aka drug offenders, who are in opposition to being interviewed on camera about cannabis accuracy and legalization. Please inbox me, and please is in capital letters. Inbox me for details. Serious inquiries only. Yours truly has already responded, and yes, I'll be one of the participants. I'll be talking to her after the show to find out just what's going on. We have a couple other people that's going to join it as well. And this is the thing, people. I have no problem with speaking out about cannabis and how it affects my life and everything else. And we don't understand for some reason some people that don't. And I'm not knocking you on that neither. But this is what I'm going to say is this. And I'm saying it to the one that's up there sweeping the floor at McDonald's, all the way up to the CEO, the lawyers, the rappers, and everybody else that uses this plant. Now is the time. Here in South Carolina, we don't have a ton of money, but we do have heart. But now we got to get that money. And y'all know when we talking about getting that money, we got to get money from everywhere. If you love to use cannabis, we need your support. I.e., y'all need to talk about seeing minorities for medical marijuana.org. I'm the co-chapter president with my President Giovanni. Between the two of us, we down here trying to get y'all done, but it costs MONEY to get it done. And this year needs to be the year. Sure, we have a cannabis bill, and y'all done heard me talk about the bill in depth. Am I crazy about the bill? Y'all know how I feel. Hell no, I'm not crazy about this bill. But the needs of the many outweighs the needs of the few. And for those who are tracking, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm willing to step my personal feelings aside about the plan to get done what's being to be done for the people of this state. Now, keeping that in mind, we still need funds to do all that. So, in order for me and Giovanni to do what we need to do, you need to go ahead and hit minoritysmedicalmarijuana.org. On top of that, why don't you become a member? It's $100 to join us, to be in that fight. You can learn about education, jobs, and everything else that's going on in the cannabis system. It doesn't start from a seed. It starts way among that. Once that seed is planted, you got to have a whole lot of people in the process of that seed. And we need more advocates. Don't matter. And let me ask you a question. Are you part of the 1%? No, you're not. Well, that means you're a minority. So guess what? We don't see no color. So don't even get it twisted about talking about, it's for people of color. If you're not part of 1%, you're part of the minority. I ain't got time to name all the people. Just think about joining us, okay? That's my note for minorities for medical marijuana. We're going to leave that at that. Okay, now we're going to get back to other things that we wanted to talk about today. So, is everybody enjoying their day off? Because I know a few of y'all have a day off, and unfortunately some 800,000 people have been having now 31 days off, which is ridiculous. And I wasn't kidding about that thing with TSA workers. If you hear the sound of my voice, or you know somebody that has iHeartRadio, have them to listen to that show. Tell them, say, you know what, Miss Green Jean's right. I done worked 31 days with no pay, and there's no guarantee I'm going to get paid. Now, if the TSA workers shut it down, trust and believe me, the world will stop. See, as long as that money is flowing, they got these people out here working for free, it's going to continue. So, I'm just saying, y'all can take it away if you want to. But we do have a survey that's out. I'm going to share it. I think I shared it on Ms. Green Jean's page, but if not, I will after the show. It's a poll. Do you support medical marijuana in South Carolina? Please take the poll and let them know how you feel. Okay, the new Senate bill is out. It's allowing exporting for Oregon marijuana. Now, that's something to check out for sure. I'll definitely be sharing that. That story. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you real quick. As soon as it pulls up, we can go ahead and move on about our business. Yeah, I know I need a faster internet, but when you broke, you deal with what you got. So, all right now. Oregon's cannabis industry is in peril according to the members of the Craft Cannabis Alliance, and they said there's only one solution: to send exporting the product. Cannabis began as a way for Francis McKenzie to help his wife through a traumatic brain injury. In 2008, the co-founder of TJ Gardens, but in 2015, when recreational cannabis became legal in Oregon, he found a new competition. I wasn't the only person that wanted to grow weed for a living. There was a lot of us, said McKenzie. It's been a challenge to sell our product, honestly, because we have such a limited market. Adam Smith, president of organic-based Craft Cannabis Alliance, says when marijuana was legalized, there's already a profitable black market. But in the legal market, our state exports is off the table, and recreational marijuana prices in Oregon dropped 50% in the first few years. Eugene Senator Floyd Pisatsky wants to open an out-of-state market for a year. In fact, in 2017, he introduced a bill to do just that, but it was met with hesitation, and cannabis is still federally prohibited. But this year, he introduced Senate Bill 1042, which he thinks lawmakers will be on board. The bill would allow the government to enter an export agreement with another state that also legalized cannabis, but for now it's only in executive states, since cannabis cannot be transported by plane, water, or railroad. He says Oregon be a name brand cannabis is important to look into the future of cannabis as a craft agriculture product. Smith and Prosaski says Nevada will target market since they don't have a favorable climate to grow cannabis. Prosaski said hopes to have Senate Bill 1042 on the governor's desk the first half of this year. Guess what? We're going to be following that extremely closely to see if that goes through. Because, say for instance, if North Carolina, now this is going to open up Pandora's box. And this is how I see this going. Remember, we got 33 states in the District of Columbia. Not count, excuse me, let's take Oregon off the table for a second. We have 32 states in the District of Columbia that currently has some type of cannabis bill. Now, if that bill passes, remember they had a ton of weed or more surplus, Oregon did, because they couldn't get rid of it because of the crazy laws they got there. Wink, wink, South Carolina. Pay attention. That is going to open it up for everybody else. Now, say for instance, North Carolina is on its way of passing a cannabis bill of some type. I'm just going to use North Carolina for example because they're a lot closer than South Carolina is. And that happens. Okay, they open up the bill, the governor says, and boom, 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 here we go. We're off to the races. Oregon say, hey, North Carolina, guess what? You passed your bill. How about if we help you out? We send you clothes, that. Boom, they signed up. Guess what? In less time than probably 90 days or less, maybe 120, North Carolina could be up and running with Oregon weed. Is that strange to think about? Now, who's going to pay for all that export? The consumer? The patient? Yeah. So, yeah, that sounds like a good thing for the time being to get upstarting programs. And if the cost, now this is the thing I'm looking at is the cost. Because we all know that's been on the medical program that black market is still beating the shit out of legal cannabis. It is. And until the legal market kind of works its way out, work out the kinks, it's going to be that way. And the only way they can do that is they let people grow that want to grow. And for those who can't grow, let them go to the dispensaries and everything else. Let them do that. But I want to be to the point that I could go on Amazon and get my weed. And I heard that's coming. Yeah, you heard me right. Amazon talking about weed. I don't know how true this is. I meant to Google it before the show. But I will be Googling and we'll be talking about this on tomorrow's show. Also, I'm getting you ready for my trip to Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm going to be part of a program there, Harvest of the Good. Yes, we're going out to Wilmington, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We'll be there on 11:30 a.m. on Thursday. If you ain't got your tickets too late, it is already sold out. Yes, indeed, it's sold out. So, yes, Miss Green Jeans will be in the building, so think about that for a second. Hey, I'm still trying to find that one article for you guys that I want to end up on the last talk of the day with y'all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one real song in here real quick for you. And after I do that, we're going to go ahead and give you the last talk of the day. The last... cannot talk today. The last talk of the day. We'll be right back. You're in tune to the Wake and Bake Show.
I pray thee, once again. I wonder if it's surrounded by ones of such talent. You know? Speak life, live a humble and meek life. Ordinary day of the week life. Try to search and seek life. Way up. Keep your head up and stay up. Even when you're sore and pain up. Never giving up till it's game up. Keep your aim up and focus. Don't concentrate on what's bogus. Never sell out for a bonus. Handle your biz like grown-ups. Own up It's amazing. The wage of fire keeps blazing. That's why I'm constantly praising. For some of them it's a face thing, so they're gazing. On the street lights, till them go catch up in street fights, 'cause I'm pretending they're streetwise, and put an end to a brief life. I feel like it's a mystery how we keep repeating our history, making the same mistakes as our ancestry. Seems like all of life lessons missed with. It's risky, so give praises. One day you may find your oasis. Rise up to the challenge you're faced with. Be your fool and creative. You'll make it. It's basics. People been doing it for ages in many other cultures and places on a regular basis. There's so many cases. Let's face it, man. Way too much time has been wasted, man. Building military bases, fighting a war with no basis. Life is sacred, and every baby born naked. Some are not one like them raised big, and don't care what they're making. They can't take it, so speak life, man. All this darkness not feel right, man.
And we're back. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Martin Luther King Jr. Happy MLK Day. And this last token of the day, which I'll have a caboodle of them, but I want to start off with our show title today about Dr. King. This is posted today by Kenna Law Blog. For our international readers, Martin Luther King Day is a U.S. federal holiday marking the birthday of his extraordinary civil rights hero. Dr. King was the chief spokesman for nonviolent activism in the civil rights movement, which successfully protested racial discrimination in federal and state law. Dr. King was assassinated in 1968, 4 years after the passage of one of the greatest U.S. laws in the 20th century, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. His death also came 2 years after prior the 20th century's most controversial and injurious laws, the Controlled Substances Act of 1970. As cannabis business lawyers, they write about cannabis laws topics every day of the year, but on this blog they seldom address the pure social sides. But when it comes to cannabis, however, sometimes difficult to separate the law and policy. This is because the federal prohibition of marijuana in the U.S. has a racial disparate impact on the non-white individuals, especially black and Latino Americans. That should sound come to no surprise to anyone. It is well documented that former President Richard Nixon wanted to link marijuana use and its negative effect on black people and hippies, who perceived in his enemies when he signed into the CSA. That was almost 50 years ago. But not in the way much has changed. Although the Trump administration has instated policies that make it more difficult to track drug arrests, publicly available FBI data reveals that 700,000 marijuana-related arrests occurred in 2017, comprising of 40.4% all reported U.S. drug arrests in the U.S. This is nearly 1,200 more marijuana arrests that were made in 2016, which in turn saw an increase from 2015. Thus, marijuana arrests are increasing as more states legalize possession and the sale of the plant. It's profoundly regrettable that non-white individuals are arrested on marijuana crimes on a grossly disproportionate basis to whites today, and historically, despite low levels of consumption overall. Most arrests are made for simple possession of small amounts of cannabis and made on the state and local level. Last year at this time, Jeff Sessions was our Attorney General. Although he's gone, his retrograde policies live on, and the Department of Justice directs with respect to marijuana and marijuana-adjacent issues. These policies include the sports of the draconian federal sentencing for drug-related convictions, which affects blacks and Latinos disproportionately. Support other federal private prisons, which impounds blacks and Latinos disproportionately. Support on the police tool asset of forfeiture, which is a legal problematic procedure which allows law enforcement to seize property of individuals who have been suspected but not charged with crimes in violations of everyone's civil rights, but to affect blacks and Latinos disproportionately. And the recession of the Cole Memo, which gave some cover to marijuana businesses. Today, as we seem fairly certain that William Barr will be our next confirmed Attorney General, he probably won't be as bad as Sessions, but he's no friend of marijuana either. Barr commented last week, although he would not use the federal dollars to chase state-compliant actors, it is a mistake to back off marijuana. It's not the type of leadership we need in the nation's chief law enforcement officer. As is Congress recently passed the first step in a mild reform of the federal criminal justice system that's mostly done when it comes to marijuana. However, and none of the straight marijuana bills from the States Act down on made on the floor. It is all the while marijuana arrests continue to increase, despite the fact we have allowed 2 in 3 Americans now support the legalization of marijuana, and new adult use in medical in states are coming online in waves. Now, did you just hear what I read, ladies and gentlemen? That's a lot. The war on drugs stated as the war on minority groups, and not much has changed in 50 years. If Dr. Martin Luther King was alive today, it's almost certain he would be advocating to end the war on drugs, starting with the removal of marijuana from Schedule 1 and the CSA. Till that happens, in honor of Dr. Luther King, here are some of the ways you can pitch in to reserve the racism, immorality, and counterproductive state and federal respect to marijuana. Demand your assembly set up and co-sponsor the Marijuana Justice Act, the Marijuana Freedom and Opportunity Act, and a progressive federal legislation containing expungement and social justice prevention. Demand that local officials endorse those social equality programs, well as begun to see everywhere to New York to California. Support and advocate for city and state programs that aim to help disadvantaged communities cash in on marijuana legalization. Support or organize political spectrum across the Civil Liberties Union and Republicans Against Marijuana Prohibition and respect their efforts to end federal prohibition, and support groups like Minorities for Medical Marijuana, which promote diversity in the cannabis industry. Dr. King died 50 years ago, but his legacy continues to resonate. Oh, crap. Sorry about that. No, oh, crap, and then I just hit the wrong button. Okay. Let me get back to where I was at. In honor of one of our greatest leaders, it's important to remember all the reasons why we strive to put an end to prohibition, including the most important ones. Let's hope to finally see some meaningful progress on marijuana and civil rights in 2019, particularly at the federal level. Now, I did change some of those things to affect how this station and who we support, but bottom line is this. I agree with what they said. Dr. King would definitely support what we're doing. And so on that note, this is the last talk of the day. I hope you enjoyed the show today. It was a little different for me as well as y'all. I thought we put the Lily Dance off to tomorrow because, as we, I'm doing this, I'm going to put the blunt out after I say this. Believe it or not, everything I read to you is true. The names will not change to protect the innocent in no way, shape, form, or fashion. What I mean is this. I'm one of those faces that could be thrown down to the ground anytime for cannabis use. I'm one of those people that could be locked away at any time for cannabis use here in the United States. And what is my crime? I have a medical card from a different state, but I currently live in one other different state. So Senator Tim Scott of the state of South Carolina, answer me this question. When is my equal time going to come? When is my freedom going to ring? We pay taxes here in the state of South Carolina, but at the same time, we are so misrepresented. We can't even get medical cannabis on a bill here, so we can leave freedom just, how it says, freedom of justice and the pursuit of happiness, or something, however that crap goes. It's like this. When is it going to be our turn? I'm just saying. Because Dr. King didn't get to see the dream. When I get to heaven, I'd love to be able to tell him about it. And that's the last talk of the day. I hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. Normally we are on Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but hey, we still did bring it to you, man. Oh, by the way, the Saints got robbed. Saints got robbed. Saints got robbed. Investigate. That's another show. Yeah, if you seen the games yesterday, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Poor officially. They're very bad. Y'all cost the Saints the game. Y'all wrong for that. So I'm just that. Congratulations to the Patriots. Y'all going to the Super Bowl. Hey, y'all hope y'all don't have no 3 blind mice out there. Y'all might be facing the same situation. I'm just saying, guys. Hey, that's that little sports talk coming out me. I can't help it. Once you're a sports commentator and do sports on the news and all that stuff like that, it stays in your blood. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy your week, okay? And for those who got to get back to work tomorrow morning, hey, y'all know you can pick me up anytime on the following shows. You know what it is, especially on iHeartRadio. Hey, you can say Google, my favorite one, Alexa, iHeartRadio podcast, Miss Green Jeans Wake and Bake Show, and you be right there just like that. On that note, I'm going to say peace and hair grease, y'all. We out of here. Got one question for you. Are you awake yet?
I don't know what's going on or about this feeling that you got me feeling. 'Cause every time I try to leave, I'm right back again, yeah. And I ain't going nowhere. You got me walking on the ceiling. So when the times get hard and at night you're all alone, oh, I'll be the one you call. No telling where we might go. And every time you look up, baby, I'm right there, flying in the air. So let all of your fears go. We never spend the night low. We go up, 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 up. We go up, 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 up. We go up, 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 up. We go up, 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 up. So high, I'm not coming down. And you and me, you ain't coming down either. Let's write our names on a cloud, break something down, roll it up and pass it all around. she a keeper. Yeah. So when the times get hard and at night you're all alone, oh, I'll be the one you call. Don't tell her where we might go. And every time you look up, baby, I'm right there, flying in the air. So let all of your fears go. We never spend the night low. We go up, 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 up. We go up, 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 up. We go up, 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 up. Yeah. We go up, 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 up. 'Cause everything's better when you're high. 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 If you don't smoke, I don't know why. 'Cause everything's better when you're high. Everything's better when you're high. Everything's better when you're high. If you don't smoke, I don't know why. Keep all that. Even keep that. And keep that too, but you cut this out. Cushion orange juice, nigga. Some raw papers.
They're hard to learn with though because they're slippery. They are.
They are slippery.
Compared to like blue ones and shit.
They are slippery, but once you get that, like...
Take a breath. Been trying to ignore it lately. Sometimes life can drive me crazy. I stay with my vision hazy. Please don't ask me why. I trip up over nothing. Always down about something. Worried about all the wrong things I can't justify. Why don't we roll up tonight? I got a lot on my mind. Tonight get high and discuss. That's why you gotta